so gracefully said. This was one of its kind, and there need to be more projects coming in from the smart contract side, and not just minting NFTs, creating the wallets and saying like, hey, we've done with the cohort. So thank you for believing us from day zero. And yes, secondly, how we're gonna go is we'll just do like a quick walkthrough of Questbook, what a grant DAO stands for, and how the students can leverage the developer tools, the community expertise, and the grants protocol, basically. So yeah, like, shall we get started?
Sure.
Okay, girls, cool. They're like 34. I just ping everyone. Girls, please pull your friends. It's not every day that you get to meet a YC-backed startup which is doing such good work in Web3, and a founder who's also a gold medalist, and so wise for his age. Like, I want to start off with a quote that he said. Okay, so it just because it stands so true for Web3 and its essence. So this is quoted by Abhilash. Okay, so he says the best solutions no, the best challenges to solve are from the existing solutions that are created, right? So what does that mean, girls? Can anyone actually want to take a stab at it before Abhilash explains? Let me read it out. I think I read that in a different way, but the best problems to solve are the ones with the existing solutions. And it's just so perfect for Web3 and the Web3, because we are technically, it's not like some trailblazing projects that we're doing, but we're just decentralizing whatever is already existing in Web2, right? Just making efficient systems, just removing barriers and creating like transparency. So anybody wants to give an example of how they're already achieving this in Web3? Girls, come on. I can like come from a hospital and do this. You can do this. Okay, I'm going to call out names randomly now. So yeah. Vanshita, would you want to take a stab?
Sorry, I just came back. What was the question?
Yeah, the question is basically any kind of Web3 project that you currently see is a evolution from Web2, right? And what is like that project that has captured your mind that you were like, hey, I want to get into Web3 and make it more efficient as well?
So I haven't really worked on many Web3 projects as such. I have done one project, which was just creation of an NFT marketplace. And so, I mean, I don't really have much to comment upon this.
Oh, okay. No worries. I know everybody is new here, but just wanted to give you the essence. Somebody wants to speak before we let Abhilash. Okay. All right, Abhilash, I think we can give them a little bit of a break because they're all just getting started. So how did you come up with that quote? And like in your essence, how does it stand for Web3?
No, I think this is something I framed while I was talking to another friend, even before I came into Web3. So we were like debating about Snapchat and Facebook. So Facebook was all about this whole permanence, and it's all about like accumulation of your photos, accumulation of your identity and all that. And then Snapchat came and said, hey, it's not an accumulation that matters. It said what we are is a result of our past, and what matters is the current moment. It's not the previous accumulation of last 5 years, 10 years of photos. So they started like deleting photos and all that. So it is from there like we came up with this framing, and we realized that it is much more broadly applicable across sectors, and we see it like playing out again and again. So if you look at Ethereum, right, like Ethereum had made certain assumptions on security, etc., which led to very good decentralization, but it also led to increase in costs. So at one point in time when CryptoKitties, it's one of the NFT projects that was popular, it congested the whole network. And that's when Polygon came into picture, and Polygon said, hey, we are going to scale Ethereum, we are going to reduce the cost of transactions. So like Ethereum solved decentralization, but it created another problem, which is the high price of transactions. And then Polygon came and said, and now Polygon is also creating new kinds of problems. So it's essentially like when you make some assumption about certain kind of solution, or when you make certain kind of design choice, it has consequences on what it enables and what it doesn't enable. So yeah, that is the essence of it. I think that I don't want to make this like the next 30 minutes about me. I would rather want to like uh, take questions, whatever is top of your mind, and try to answer them to the best of my knowledge. And I want to make this as much useful to you as possible instead of trying to make it about me. I don't want to give any gyan because it's not useful for anybody. I didn't like myself any gyanis, etc., etc. So I'll, if there is a question and if I know a decent answer to that, I will tell, hey, here is what I've seen work. And if there is a question for which I don't know the answer, I'll just say like I do not know. So I think that is the best way to make the next 30 minutes productive for all of us. But yeah, so you can ask me about engineering. I have done about like 1,500 interviews. I set up like a lot of engineering teams. You can ask me about product. I have launched 50 products so far. Only 3 of them are successful. You can ask me about investing. I have invested in about 13 startups so far, majority of them in crypto. Yeah, that's about my professional career in the last 10 years. Happy to chat about any of those aspects.
That's fantastic, Abhilash. That is the whole goal. So we get quality time with you to understand how to build projects better, right? So I keep getting internet connection is unstable. I hope I'm still audible. Abhilash,
Yeah,
can you hear me? Yeah.
yeah.
Okay, great. So, girls, firstly, the floor is open. We were thinking like we'll do like a 30-minute interview style format, but I think Abhilash is determined to get more from you. So we can actually open up with questions and, whatever essence is there that knowing all you girls from like the past, 1 month, I exactly know how we can leverage Questbook for your benefit, but I'll keep that to the end. And we'll just like take some questions from the chat just to get the icebreaker. Okay. So Manlik,
Hey, Priyanka, I think we are not able to hear you. Account abstraction tools, wallet tools, even L tools, even oracles, like whatever you touch, RPC endpoints, everything you see in this space, it has been about developers space building for other developers. That has been like one huge category that has like grown significantly. That's one. Second, there are a set of people building for institutional investors. One of the big companies in that sector is Fireblocks. Another company that serves the institutional investors is, of course, like Coinbase. Another one is MetaMask. So institutional investors are like people with billions of dollars, and they want exposure to crypto, and they also need tools, right? They also need wallets. They also need like ways to sell their assets, and they want to sell it in such a way that there is not huge price slippage, etc., etc. So the first question to ask is like, are developers my customers or are institutional investors my customers? There's also like the retail, that is also a customer. There's also gamers who are doing a lot of interesting things in crypto. There's that huge subset. And then there is also developers, institutional investors, gamers. Okay, there's also like a company called Chain Analysis, and what they do is they help governments catch criminals, and they do a lot of like analytics on top of blockchain. And every time they help government with these things, they charge about 100 or $200,000. That there's also like business built around that aspect. So is government your customer? Is developer your customer? Is an institutional investor your customer? Or is a gamer your customer? Or is a retail investor your customer? So, or you can just build for yourself, and you can say, hey, if there is a new lending protocol that should exist in Web3, it has to operate in this manner, and I'm going to build it in this manner. Or you could say, hey, if my parents or my family has to use Uniswap, it has to be in particular manner, so I'm going to build it in XYZ manner. So these are all like great ideas, but like of my first suggestion is to like forget about the total addressable market, everything, and just focus on like who will end up using that product, and have some sketch of that persona and try to build for that persona. I'm not sure if I have answered.
Yeah, yeah. You have, you have. I got the idea. Thank you.
Sure.
Great.
What
Abhilash, I'm having a little dodgy connection. Who was that again? Like I missed who at the start of the session.
That was me, Garima.
Garima.
Yeah,
Okay,
Garima.
great.
Okay, there's one more
Awesome.
question. One of the agendas we are discussing, developer grants. Please guide us how to build projects to get grants.
Again, I think, yeah.
As beginners, what projects can we focus on building to get started in Web3? Where can we get useful resources for the same? Okay, I think uh, if if you're a beginner, like you should like go try to replicate all the existing projects that are out there, right? Like build a, if you are exploring NFT space, like build a NFT marketplace, build a NFT auction, build a NFT lending protocol, build a NFT swapping protocol, like whatever are the like 10, 20, 30 products that exist around NFTs, like build all of them. Like when you have like in your mind, like when you have like those 40, 50 solutions that are already tried by people, that's when like you need like to have a lot of good ideas, you need to have one good idea, you need to have a lot of ideas, and some of them will be bad, but the place to start is like studying all existing NFT products. If you're going into if you're going to DeFi, like again, like study the top 50 DeFi protocols, and try to implement all of them yourself, and that is the only way I see. Like even if you look at any field, right? Like if you look at architects, they study great architecture. They go and like study like what are the top 50 architectures that were ever built by people, and Like if architects and like even like medicine, right? They look at like a lot of examples. They don't just come into operation theater and start operating. They go through like hundreds of examples, maybe even thousands of examples. Like if those professions are like doing so many things, and in our case, like everything is open source, everything is accessible at fingertips, we should be doing even more. And but a lot of people don't do that. And like for medicine or architecture and these other fields, it's actually harder to get access to some of these resources. But in our case, all we need to do is like tap a button on computer, and we have access to the code base. We have access to all the choices they have made. We have access to like literally A to Z everything. And if we are not studying these marvels, these open source projects, there is like you have to stand on shoulders of giants, right? Like you got to study them. There is no other way. Otherwise, like the contribution you bring to the table will be like pretty minuscule. It will look like, oh, you made some contribution, but it won't look like, yeah, this is significant. Yeah.
All right.
So who asked this question? Tiyasha Khan. Yeah, yeah, Tiyasha. So if you have any follow up, please ask them. But yeah, useful resources, study all the existing open source projects.
I was actually wondering because studying all these projects is actually studying all the user interface, even the backend part of it. So, how much do we need to know to get started? How much
I mean,
of
like, yeah, like Uniswap, the first version of it, it is 300 lines of code that led to this 15-20 billion dollar behemoth. So if you can like figure out what the initial 300 lines of code is, you can go to GitHub and look at what are the first 10 commits, or look at first five, and you can like see what are the key assumptions they made. You can see like what exactly were they thinking, and how did the project evolve from those first 5-10 commits into whatever it is right now. So you need to like study some of the like history, and then you can like you will have a lot of ideas from there. Oh, this project from first for the point A, it went to point B, but it could have also gone from point A to point C. So then your contribution A, which is that point C, it can become another Uniswap. But somebody needs to like trace these initial steps and like go deep into these projects. So anybody could have written that. Like it's actually written by another engineer like you and me, and it is literally some 300 or 320 lines. The first Uniswap version.
thank you, thank you.
Great. I
What?
think Mahilika was next. Yeah.
Yeah, Mahalika is asking what type of mindset should we have while building in Web3, and what should our focus be initially? It must sometimes get frustrating for developers as no Stack Overflow exists for this space yet. Yeah, like Stack Overflow may not exist, but there are a lot of Discord groups where if you go and like say clearly, hey, this is the problem I ran into, and here are my attempts at solving it. I tried approach one, approach two, approach three. Approach one, I encountered this problem. Approach two, I encountered this problem. Approach three, I encountered this problem. Has anyone else tried another approach? What have been their observations? I want to connect and learn. Like if you like clearly show that you're putting genuine effort and like post it properly, you will get a response. And yeah, like people in this space are like typically helpful, and especially developers, they are typically responsive, and you can even get in touch with their developer relations teams depending on which project you're building on, and they are typically very helpful.
Great. I can take the questions. Actually, girls would request you to please like ask the questions yourself, because that will give Abhilash more boost to answer better than reading off some comments. Okay.
So I just realized you're from Triple IT Hyderabad, and that's so nice to hear. Me and Vanshita and Mahelika are also from the same college. So as everyone there right now is rushing towards the SD jobs that more like Web 2, like Mon skills and stuff. How did you come up with Web 3, and what were the challenges you faced?
How did I come up with Web3?
Yeah, like it's different from what everyone is rushing towards.
Hmm. I actually built a Web2 company, and before I built that company, I was working as a software engineer at Google and Facebook for a few years. And yeah, while working at Google and Facebook, I realized I was becoming a better software engineer and not so much contributing to my entrepreneurial dreams. So I was in US. Facebook went for an IPO, and after that, I was like, okay, I have enough funds for my retirement, and I came back to India, and I told my parents that I'm on a 5-year holiday, and I'm going to like build companies. And one of the projects I did was something like a TikTok, but for South Indian markets, Tamil and Telugu. That went viral, and we scaled that to 10 million users. I ran the company from 2014 to 19, and we raised about $8.3 million. End of 2019, we sold the company, and sold that to MPL. And after that, for about a year, I was clueless what to do, because once you're a founder, you are sort of like unemployable, because you don't have like a lot of deep skills in anything. You have like a lot of breadth, like you know a lot of things, but like you aren't great at marketing, you aren't great at like sales, or you aren't great at like one thing. So if you're a founder for that long, like you become like unemployable almost. And then one of the first engineers I hired at that company, Madhavan, he called me up one day and he tells me, hey, all the salary you have been giving me, I put it in crypto, and 98% of my net worth is currently in crypto. And I was like pretty surprised, and I started digging into what is this whole crypto thing, and I realized that this is a genuine technological breakthrough. And since then, like we started going deeper and deeper, and that was the genesis. Him, uh, Madhavan putting all of his salary into crypto, and then calling me up one day that 98% of his net worth is in crypto. And then I made yeah, a few investments. I made about like 13 investments so far, and out of them, only three are in Web 2 or non Web 3. Like rest of the 10 investments, all of them are in Web 3. And yeah, it's been a pretty terrific journey. So for the next 10 years also, I see myself doing a lot of stuff in Web 3 itself. So I think the reason I will be in Web3 for the next 10 years is simple. Web3 is the only technology out there right now which will give ownership to people. What I mean by that is, let's say there is a dating app. All of the money that users pay in a dating app goes to either like Tinder or Bumble, and there's no point of that money going to Tinder or Bumble, because all of the data that is put on dating apps belongs to users, and all that these dating apps are doing is literally nothing. They are taking the data, and then on top of it, they're also like taking your money, which does not make sense. So I think that's where Web3 can come in and like say, hey, it's your data, and all of the money also should belong to the people running this protocol, and Web3 can add significant value. So my dream is like, if out of the top 150 NASDAQ companies, at least half of them are owned by customers instead of the current structure where the companies are owned by uh, investors, etc. That's when I see Web3. That's when I would say Web3 has arrived, and that is the reason. That is the future I want to make happen in the next 5-10 years. So customer-owned companies is where I see Web3 heading towards. Yeah, sorry for the long answer. Uh,
No,
happy to
actually, that was amazing. Learning how, the customer-based company should come off and stuff. Thank you so much.
All right, girls, let's give Abhilash some more energy before, we lose those last 9 minutes. We have a lot of questions. Why are you all active on chat and not speaking up? It's not like you have a mask on.
Hi,
Okay.
Abhilash sir. Like, I just want to know, what do you think are the challenges like we should be prepared for while working with Web3? Could you please answer my question? Thank you so much for this session today. It's so great that we met you.
I mean, it's like challenges as in like challenges faced by Web3 itself, or challenges faced by me, or like, can you elaborate on that?
Yeah, faced by Web3.
I think Web3 is driven by a lot of like speculation. Money itself is driven by speculation, and money is probably the only technology that has reached all of humanity, and it runs on speculation. And it is no surprise that Web3 also runs on speculation. And that is also like the best part of it, and also like the worst part of it, because we aren't able to like see a lot of people working in Web3. They aren't able to like see beyond speculation. And for those reasons, a lot of people see Web3 as a scam. A lot of people see Web3 as not having utility because it is speculative in nature. And that is the biggest risk I see. And that is the reason I see need for more utility. And I feel utility will come from a lot of like customer owned companies that will get built. So we have to move it from this narrative of speculation to actually apps and assets, internet assets owned by customers. So that is my viewpoint on the challenges right now for the industry as a whole.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Yeah, go ahead. I ask Ikshania's question at the end. Go ahead, girl.
Okay. Yeah, so I have a question. Like, as a fresher, when I submit my resume to a company in Web3, so what would they be looking in my resume? Like, how can I pass their resume round?
Although I don't know what others would look at, but if there is no GitHub link in the resume, I would outright reject it. Because if they don't have anything open sourced, or like if they don't have any repositories out there that they have contributed to, I would like I tell my team, if they are sending me a resume that does not have GitHub link, like they would get a lot of bashing if they send that to me. That's one. Second, I would look for open source contributions. If there are some open source projects where they have fixed bugs, or if there are some open source projects where they have contributed some features or something else. That is second. Third, I would look at the velocity of fixing a bug. So I have like a whole bunch of exercises designed to test that in an interview. and I would check that skill. These are three non-negotiables for me. There are like fourth and fifth rounds, but very first, like have a good GitHub repo, GitHub presence. Second, some contribution or the other to open source. Three, how quickly they can fix a bug. And there's 4 and 5, but that is require more time to talk about those. Yeah, but essentially that is my interview process. Others, different people do it differently, but I do it in this manner, whether it is an intern or entry level engineer or senior level engineer.
So like, if we have some personal projects, will that overpower open source contribution or not?
The personal projects are fine, so long as like they have some depth to them. So if it is like one more NFT project, NFT marketplace without any strong differentiation, like that would not like make me go wow. Like it would be like okay, one more NFT marketplace. But if it had like some differentiation in terms of like, hey, it had this technical breakthrough which makes buying and selling NFTs in bulk 50% cheaper, or like some differentiator, strong differentiator, then that would be interesting. So yeah, that is the viewpoint from which I'm looking at while I'm screening candidates for my team.
Okay, and like when you take interview of them, so what sort of theory questions will you focus on for it?
No, I don't ask anything theoretical.
Okay.
All of my questions are very practical. I even have a round where I would ask people to solve something using ChatGPT, and I would even test their ChatGPT usage skill. So it's yeah, we have a very different interview process. We are not like other companies.
So like contributing in open source and making personal projects is the way to like get prepared for the interviews. Yeah.
Yeah, that would be ideal, according to me. So this is very biased. Not everyone does interviews like me, but this you have to look at like uh, Abhilash and the way he is interviewing people.
Okay. Thank you.
So, can you tell us about the 3 successful products that you launched, as you said, and what inspired you to launch them?
So what inspired me to launch them? Actually, I recently did a talk at Triple IT on this. Like when I was doing that talk, um,
Admit it, it's revenue. It's becoming a unicorn. That was the inspiration.
no, not that was the inspiration. I'll just share my screen.
Yeah.
I had prepared some sort of. Hey, I
All okay, Abhilash? I think you're muted for some reason, or it's just me.
oh sorry.
Girls, are you able to hear Abhilash? Yeah.
Yes, sorry. I sent you a deck. Can you screen share that?
Yeah, sure. Just one. Pick it up. Actually, wait, let me just make you the host here.
How many of you are attending this on your phone? How many of you are attending on your computer? Wow, most of you are on laptop. Nice.
Okay, good. Then let me just share my screen here real quick. Ablash, I'm just waiting for this to download. The net is a little dodgy. Yeah, just 1 minute, okay?
Yeah,
Okay,
so
while it downloads, we have a question.
okay, like
Ablash,
before,
sorry, there was one last question, okay?
yeah.
So sorry, I'm having so much trouble with the internet. Ablash, were you asking something?
Hey, okay, you are able to see my screen, right?
Yeah, I can.
Okay, let me share my screen. This is a talk I did recently at Triple IT. So the question that was asked was, what were the 3 successful products I launched? And I mentioned in this talk that I launched around 50 products. Only 3 of them were successful. So one of the successful products I launched is Samosa app. So if you look at this product, this is a photo from Facebook, right? And this is the comment section in that Facebook. And what do you guys see here in this page? You see some comments, you see a photo, you see clap one, you see some hashtag, you see a whole bunch of things, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
So one of the things that is interesting here is somebody pasted a YouTube link here. You see that?
Yeah.
So somebody took the pain of like going to YouTube and then searching for a particular video, then dragging that video to 2 minutes, 2 seconds. And this is pre-geo time. This is way back in 2015. And this would have easily taken them probably 30 seconds to 1 minute to just drag it, load it. And then finally pasted that YouTube link here. So I thought somebody took the pain of like doing all this and just to post a film dialogue as a comment here. It's almost like a GIF, but like an audio GIF. So I said, let me turn this into an app. And I launched an app based on this insight. Let people share cinema clips without ever leaving their WhatsApp conversation. So I saw somebody doing this on Facebook, and then I wrote a plugin for this on WhatsApp. So this is how WhatsApp used to look, 2015. There is a attach button, and when you attach, this will open like photo, video, audio, and when you click on audio, an app can show up. And when you click on that app, the interface can also show up right here. And then people can like click on that voice clip and then send it, and they'll be able to share that voice clip without leaving the conversation. This is the insight, and launched it, and it went viral. This is how it used to look. It used to have like we put 50,000 audio clips. We were in top 10 entertainment charts. There's a lot of love from users. We were adding 8,000, 10,000 users every day. The server bills were around 24 or 23 lakhs at the end of 3 months since we launched this. All of the user acquisition was word of mouth. And Bahubali and a whole bunch of movies started promoting as what voice chat partner, because this was their only way to market themselves on WhatsApp. There's no other way. And then because we were in top 10 entertainment apps, and films themselves were promoting us, the folks from Sequoia reached out to us and they said, hey, I'm part of technology investment team at Sequoia. We want to talk to you. And they actually like made an investment in us. So this is how the first app happened. And then like I did a whole bunch of mistakes, but I did all those mistakes because I started looking at others' frameworks. Like I started looking at like, hey, should I pick an idea just because it'll go viral? Should I pick an idea because it'll start generating revenue? Should I pick an idea because it has already worked in another country? Should I pick an idea because I already have an audience on Twitter, YouTube for it? Or should I pick an idea because I know people will come, or whatever? Like there are like I did a research, and like the reason for my 47 failures was because instead of relying on my intuition, I was relying on all others' intuition, and I was trying to like build stuff based on what others were saying. And yeah, like the very first app I built, this one happened out of like some sort of like instinct, intuition plus accident, right? Like you could say this is all like luck based. But then now I have to figure out a way to turn that luck into skill and like repeat it. I did it once, but like how do I repeat it? And then others frameworks are not working for me, and I didn't feel energized, and like yeah. But essentially for me, like finally it came down to this: like the product I build, it should like put a smile on user's face. Before it puts smile on someone else's face, it should put a smile on my face, and it should put a smile on the face of my users. And when those users hear about it at a dinner table conversation, it should put a smile on their face also. So this is the framework I use right now when I'm investing or when I'm choosing to build a new product, whether it is Web3, Web2, whatever. And yeah, some of the recent investments also I made based on this insight only. Yeah, so a recent talk I did. Yeah, but essentially like that should give an insight into like how I went about uh, uh, like picking ideas, and like how I went about reflecting on my failures and how I'm thinking about stuff right now. This is a framework that works for me. Like you want to build stuff because it puts a smile. You want to invest in stuff because it puts a smile on your face. Like it sounds cliched, but yeah, it works for me. It gives me energy. It makes me push myself. So I'll keep doing it. For others, it may not work. So for you also it may not work. But yeah, you need to find what works for you and what gives you that kick So yeah, you figure out. But this is like, this presentation is like summarizing like the 10-year journey into those lives, and all the mistakes I made were because I listened to others' advice. So my suggestion: don't listen to my advice. Also, don't listen to others' advice, because no, like all the people giving advice, they give advice once they become successful, and that includes me also. Like, I became like some level of success, right? That's why you invited me, and like, and so on. And but by the time they become successful, they forget the essence, they forget the uh, initial insight that actually got them there. And because of that, a lot of the advice they give, a lot of things get lost in translation. But if you really look into how I built my first viral app, it was as simple as looking at somebody commenting a YouTube link on Facebook, and then I turned it into an app. Why did we name it Samosa? If investors ask me that question, I'll say if Apple is Apple, Samosa is Samosa. But the real reason is we were having the name discussion while having a samosa, and somebody said, "Why don't we name it Samosa?" And we named it Samosa. So, like, things are in reality pretty simple, and people tend to like complicate it. People tend to tell a lot of stories around it. So yeah, like, don't listen to any advice. Like, do thinking yourself, and do it. Yeah, like, have fun, and whatever puts a smile, do those sorts of things.
Thanks a lot, sir. I really like this ideology that you should first be happy and positive about what you are doing before you try to make others happy about your product.
Yes, 100%. Yeah, that is the sort of thing that gives me a lot of energy while building products.
Awesome. Abhilash, this was like a good overview of what our students want. But definitely from the Web3 aspect, we would love to learn, is Questbook really decentralized fully? If so, how?
Is
Did I
Questbook
put you in a spot?
is Questbook
You're a
fully?
grants DAO, correct?
Yeah, like grants is a pretty interesting phenomenon, right? Like, there are developers on one side, and then there are protocols on the other side, and these protocols wants to give out money to these developers. And then we came in and said, hey, let's make this whole grants ecosystem more decentralized. And we said, let's make it decentralized by giving money to experts in the community, and let money flow through like multiple experts who will then figure out which developers should do which
Yeah.
projects and give money to that. So that is the extent to which, like, we have decentralized grants, and compound grants program. It's completely run by the community, and it's run on Facebook right now. DYDX, Aave, and a whole bunch of protocols are also taking similar path. So,
Super.
like, you want like both speed and decentralization. Like, if you apply for a grant and you get the grant after 6 months, it doesn't work. You apply for a grant,
Correct.
you want to get it in like 2 days, or like even 2 weeks won't cut it. So you want
Absolutely.
speed as well as decentralization. So we felt to balance both, the best way to do it is like have individuals from the community and like give those individuals directly budgets. That's what Compound is
Right.
doing. Like, there are like 4 or 5 people that they have selected, and each of them have a budget of like 200 to $50,000, and they give out those grants.
That's fantastic. Also, notice that when compared to other protocols, like your grants protocol probably go for larger incentives, right? Like you can actually go build a DApp and not just or just build a Web3 venture with the kind of grants you give, right?
Uh,
Through these protocols. I mean,
no, like
it's not for small-term investments.
No, the grants, the money for the grants, it comes from the protocols themselves. Like Compound has a $1 million, $2 million budget. Solana has a budget. Aave has a budget. Whole bunch of these protocols, they have their own grants budgets, and they have people disbursing this money, and each of them also has an individual budget.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
these guys are operating some of their grants budgets from questbook.app, and you'll be able to see that on the app. So the grants are
Got it.
different from investments. Like we, as a company, we have $1 million fund through which we invest in other companies. But besides that, most of it is most of what we are talking about right now is for grants, not our
Grants
investment.
only. Yeah. Right. Yeah, that's a clear-cut segmentation. Also, one of the questions from our students was about, your views on the convergence of AI and blockchain in the current market as an investor. This is like as an investor personally. Yeah.
What was the question again?
So the convergence of AI and blockchain, right, in projects. And as an investor, would you be interested in funding that?
I mean, like not just me, right? Everyone else is also looking at the convergence between AI and blockchain, and I think AI will bring authenticity to blocks, not blockchain per se, but like crypto will bring authenticity to all the AI products. So, for example, like we recently gave a grant to a medical data marketplace. So, in what happens in that medical data marketplace is people put up cancer images, and on the other side, the people who want to do research on these cancer images or who want to build products using these cancer images, they would pay for this data. And the people providing these cancer images are in India, and the people who are consuming these cancer images, they are in US. And they have like built a nice marketplace for these cancer images. And over here, they need a way to authenticate the images, because
Wow.
the people who are buying these cancer images, they don't want to buy cancer images that are generated by an AI. They want to buy cancer images generated by Mid Journey or whatever. They want to buy cancer images that are actually from hospital websites, etc. So crypto is the only way these images can be authenticated and they can be put up on a website, and that creates enough trust for the buyers to take out money. So a lot of like I think this is also the same reason why Sam Altman has invested in Volcoin. So a lot of bots would start using his creation chat GPT, but on the other hand, he also needs to like validate who is a
Authentic.
human, and that authenticity
Yeah.
will be established by Volcoin. Yeah, so
Right.
crypto will solve the authenticity problem in the AI upcoming AI world, and yeah, they both will play together.
Superb. Thank you for that. I believe we are almost, we've actually surpassed time. So girls, with all the additional questions that are coming to me, right, I'll take it up with Abhilash and we will give you back answers, okay? So let's honor Abhilash's time. And yes, the main part, the three badges, the top three badges for the trailblazers from the cohort. So Abhilash, just to let you know, it's only been class 5 of Solidity, but we're gonna go and give them a boost because they've gone up 3 folks in their category. For the active names being added, so please be patient with us. We work, Sneha, Kiran, and me are working out on those. But let's do the, 3. Again, this is going to be revised every single time. Not the same people will get badges. So if there's chance for everyone, do not get demotivated, please. So yeah, just a boost and, applause for the ones who put in like 2000%. So great. Yeah, Abhilash, I think you have the 3 names in the chat. I sent it on WhatsApp as well. You can just announce, and girls, the badges will come to your wallet. So give me your wallet address and I'll do the transfer. Hey, Abhilash, I think we can like end with that.
Hey, three names: Garima Mangal deployed first smart contract. Prisha Arora
Fastest fingers first.
first
Yeah.
Web3 meetup and helping peers. Mahelika Twitter threads on solidity and class learn. Hey, amazing stuff. I think you guys keep rocking and keep doing the stuff you want to do. Don't do it because others are telling you to do. And
Right.
yeah, keep
We
rocking.
have special mentions also, Abhilash, for the consistent participation throughout.
Awesome.
So you'll see you'll see like a second message.
Second message, where is it?
Okay, let me just send it again to you here on Zoom. Okay, let me just send it. So girls, there are still names being added and everybody who performs will get a badge. So don't think that this is it. This is going to be every week. Yeah, go ahead, Abhilash.
Hey, I don't have any other.
Zoom in your Zoom, Abhilash. Let me just.
Oh, okay. Meghna Sidam Shetty, Shweta Mandal, Saumya Palluri, Bhumika for their consistency. Consistency of
Right.
like, can you
Participation in the class.
nice, cool.
Yeah. Amazing. So yeah, let me just like repeat that again, right? So Meghna, Garima, congrats on, you being the first one to deploy the smart contract. Of course, like, Prisha, Vanshita also have did it, and like, it was just like a fastest fingers first that we tracked. Yeah, the second Prisha was the first one to host her Web3 meetup, post the cohort. And if you all are doing that, please let us know. And she also went out and, helped Raksha, who's one of the candidates who joined late. So that's one of the attributes we'd love to see in other girls. Please pull your peer members up if you're seeing them struggling. And yeah, of course, third, Mahelika, great Twitter threads, and you're inspiring your entire batch to write more. So yeah, Soumya Palluri, I do keep seeing your Twitter threads as well. So you are a great inspiration as well. So all of the names that Abhilash mentioned are going to get badges. All right. Fantastic. So I'll